you Arduino lovers! Here I am today with a really complicated data logger system. Well, at least what I consider complicated. It took me quite a bit of time to do. I'm going to go over the code real quick, and then I will download the code to the data logger and show you that it is in fact reading, writing, and doing what it should be doing. So here we go. Basically what this is going to do is open up my code library here in this upper portion of the screen. This is where that portion of the code is talking about. And then I'm going to define different pins and different coefficients for some calculations that are going to be done later on. Here I am putting my inputs for my LCD screen, my temperature pin, analog 0, my light pin, my liquid level pin, my liquid temperature pin, barometric pressure, and humidity. I'm running all of these on analog, even though the humidity pin calls for digital. I'll get more into the digital pin setup for the humidity sensor later, since the code and etc. did not work properly. I'm getting output, but it's not doing any sort of calculation because it's not linking into the correct dht.h file, which is up here. And there's some issue inside the coding that was originally set up online through Adafruit, and for some reason it's just not working, even if I copy it directly itself from the site and the file. So all I get is a continual output reading, but it just doesn't know what to do with it. So it's not calibrated, but I am getting an output, and so that's how it's going to be displayed, as a non-calibrated output for humidity. There we go. That's what's going on with that. Anyway, continuing on down here, this is just telling what the LCD screen is going to display for coloring, and then this is something to do with the real-time clock, and then some of the internal clock stuff. Let's see here. Going down in the code, scroll down a whole nother page here. Here is the code that outlines the card initializing, date, time, timestamp, etc. Creating the file, naming the file. So once a file is open and it's running, if it needs to create another file, then like for instance, if you download it again, it'll open up another data logger file, and it'll rename it to the next series and sequence of data logger files. And then continuing on with that, opens the file name on the SD card and writes to that file, and then it prints all the information there. My name gets printed into it, the data logging file gets printed into it, and then it's going to have the date, temperature, light, liquid level, liquid temperature, pressure, and humidity. And then the void loop here, this starts looking at all of my different inputs. So we have a void loop here for temperature, and then a temperature calculation, input for the light level, and then the range for the light constraints, temperature level, air temperature, so we have some constraints there. Liquid level is as an analog read, kind of like a potentiometer or a variable resistor, and so it just changes the resistance value as it's submerged in the water, and then that calculation is done here. And then there's some calculations here for the thermistor. So I could do some temperature calculations, which then are done here. This is the input portion of that, and then it's going to read the liquid level temperature there, or liquid temperature, sorry, not liquid level. And then another calculation using the thermistor stuff to take the above inputs and then convert the resistance into a temperature output. That took me forever to figure out. And then what we're doing is I've got a barometric pressure reading, which is a direct analog reading from the barometric system or barometric sensor that's plugged into it, and then that's in kilopascals. And then I have this last little bit here, which is the humidity, and then all of the code down below. Continuing again with another page of code. All of the write codes for the light, temperature, and all that. So if I wanted to have outputs of different ones, I could just block one or the other one off, or I could, do whatever I want, and then it'll put that out on my display screen. Right now it's doing light and temp level, but I'm sure I could just code that out and do liquid level and liquid temperature. So I'll mess with that here in a little bit. And then this is printing of the times, hour, day, minute, month, etc., etc., etc. And then this is finally printing to the log file the temperature, light level, liquid temperature, pressure, and humidity. So those are all of the things that are being displayed out in my code. And what I'm going to do here, I'll show you the actual project itself now that I'm done talking about all this wonderful code and you guys are bored to death. Is basically a data logger system that measures certain parameters for this experiment that I'm running with lettuce, where I'm basically just feeding the lettuce a fog. You can see the fog down there. I don't know what the level is, and you see all the wonderful roots down there, they're going crazy. And so in order for me to know how much water is in there, because I can't just easily monitor that, I have the liquid level sensor sitting right there. And then my outside temperature right here, but it's supposed to, this one's actually reading temperature and humidity, but I isolated it just for humidity, and that's the one that the code is not working properly, and so I'm getting an output, but it's not the output that I want, and so I would have to really go back into the base code on that and redo it all, but I don't understand the code as well as I need to be able to do that, and so I'm kind of stuck with where I am. Yeah, this is a spaghetti factory here of a bunch of wires, and I'll try to explain here. This is my barometric sensor. It's just sitting basically on my analog pin 4. What this one does is my output, or the sensor output here, is reading on analog pin 4, and then I just have power going to this. That's all that's required, and then the code just basically reads what the barometric pressure is. LCD screen, I've got a light sensor right in here, luminosity sensor. I've got a temperature sensor right here. This right here is the top of a 12-inch liquid level sensor right there. And then over on this side down below here, you probably can't see, but right inside there, right here, is my thermistor, and that is taped down the side here and inside the water, so I can see what the water temperature is. So here you see there's air temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, light sensor, luminosity sensor, and liquid level, and then liquid temperature. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in. And let me set you down for a second. Okay, so now that I set you down, I'm going to go ahead and upload the code. You can see it is uploading right now. Give it a second here. It's resetting, and there you can see temperature and light. Okay. Now, it doesn't have enough room to display all of it, and what I wanted to do later on down the road for a continuation into next term's projects is maybe putting a push button toggle so that I can scroll through each one of those things, but that's going to be an interesting little bit of code that I don't know how to write yet, so I didn't pursue that for this one. You can see it's still writing. You see it blinking here, writing to the SD card. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the SD card out right now. Going back over here. And I'm going to pull up the file that we have the SD card in. And this file is... Oops. Went to the wrong thing. There we go. There's the data logger. Pulling up the file, and as you can see, what we have here are multiple columns of it writing that data to it. What we have is the data logger file writing temperature, light, liquid level, liquid temperature, barometric pressure, and then humidity. And as I said before, this one ended up just being ones. It's an output that I don't understand how to put in the code for, but there you go. There's all the information that I need, and I'm sampling it every 0.2 seconds. So all I would have to do is in a given point in time just chart that out, plot all that, and then save these over a period of time to see what's going on with my system. I can see what sort of growth is going on with the lettuce, and so I can try to optimize the growth of the lettuce, and hopefully this can contribute later on to more projects and more experiments. So I want to thank you for joining me for the data logger project for Arduino microcontrollers 407. Hope you have a good day, and thanks for watching.